Right. Well, okay. So when I start my paintings, I start, as you can see, I've done a kind of very rough sketch underneath, and I'll do this in paint. Often I'll start with a sort of a lilac or mauve, which is quite easy to paint over. Sometimes I'll start with a much darker colour. If it's sort of a landscape, I tend to start sort of with very dark outline colours, and then sort of basically work on that and fill that in, and often I'll go over those colours. So it takes some time. I'm working on natural linen canvas, which is much nicer to work on than cotton canvases. The paint goes on much more smoothly. The paint is much more vivid when it goes onto the canvas, and it's just much better quality than ordinary sort of student cotton canvases. I'm not really good at talking and painting. I can do one or the other. I'm just putting in some white here because it doesn't take a lot of concentration.
So you're painting white over the linen first?
No. I'll paint whatever colour over the linen. It doesn't matter because this is artist quality paint. It's pretty opaque. To be honest, when I'm choosing the paint, because you look on the catalogue, I actually like to choose the opaque. You can use transparent paints. That's suitable for different kind of technique. But I like really sort of bright, strong colours, so I choose the opaque paints. And then I'm using a medium of just refined linseed oil, which sort of slows down the drying time, but also gives it a nice sheen when it does dry. And you work with the technique of using what they call fat over lean, which you start off with very light, almost like diluted, you can use all sorts of medium, just to put it on, and then as you sort of build in the layers, the paint will get thicker and thicker.
So how did you get the sketch originally then? You've got a photograph there, have you?
I usually work from photographs. I'm often looking for, that actually is a photograph of our lounge downstairs. I've got several photographs. I'm looking so I can get sort of different views of it. Often I'm looking for photographs that sort of something sort of quite bright, and even with that photograph, which isn't, but what I like about the picture is the light in it. So, and what catches my eye about this particular photograph is that light coming in. That's what I like to work on. Bringing that out is the light. So you've got, we're going to have the light in the window and the light on the painted floor as well. But invariably, although I use photographs to work from, what I end up with doesn't look much like a photograph. I don't do something that's highly realistic. It's more of a representation inspired by a photograph. Often I will simplify shapes, I'll maybe change the composition a little bit, or just leave something out, or not to add things. But I do use other artists' paintings as inspiration for how to sort of tackle some subjects. So sometimes I'm looking at a painting, I've got the art book sitting here, often I'll look at those paintings almost as much as I look at the photograph, right, for ideas of how to sort of tackle a particular sort of shape or problem. And I do kind of regard a lot of painting as almost like problem solving. You have something in a photograph, but you're trying to represent it in a different way. It's got to be something more than a photograph, something different. It's not about making it look just the same, because you could just print off another photograph for that. It's about bringing something more personal, a bit more emotional to a painting.
So you're painting how it makes you feel as well, I think.
Well, I put feelings in the painting. So I think that's about it, really.
You mentioned the light there, so what are you trying to get? The actual colour of the light, the tone of the light, the golden glow of the light? You said you were drawn to the actual light coming through the window.
I just like light. I think it's probably a result of having spent most of my life living in Wales, where it's often cloudy. I just really like light, and I really like sunny days. It's a bit tragic. I should live in a country like France where the sun comes out more often. I'm just very drawn to light. I think it just makes me feel better, and I like to sort of try and capture that in the paintings, that feeling you get when you're looking at the light. And colour, I love colour as well. If it was up to me, my house would be painted in dreadful loud colours. You might think those are quite loud colours. They're not as loud as I'd have them. These are my husband's choice. Much more sense.
So obviously the colours represent living in Britain, the greyness, and in some of your paintings, the trees and whatever are quite charcoaly, greyish.
Well, yeah, I like to. It's really. I'd say it's strange, but it's not strange at all. I generally like painting autumn, winter paintings in winter, and I like painting summer paintings in the summer. So I almost like inspired by the light that's outside the window, and then what I paint. And so yeah, at the moment I've done, the last couple of months, and a lot of painting with sort of winter trees without leaves on. They're beautiful themselves, or trees with sort of, just almost like a skeleton with the leaves on. And then come spring, I'll be painting pictures of, bright green leaves and stuff like that. I'm just sort of moved by the seasons, what's going on around me outside as well.